Well, thanks, Alex. Unfortunately, the Oklahoma State Cowboys will not be participating in this year's March Madness, but the same cannot be said for the rest of the Big 12. Looking first at the defending national champions, the Baylor Bears. The Bears look to go back-to-back and be the 6th team ever in NCAA history to do so. Now, the Bears have had some injury struggles as of late, but they seem to be getting healthy at the perfect time. The Bears ranked first in Quadrant 1 victories for the 2nd year in a row and look to be primed for another Final Four run. Their counterparts, the Kansas Jayhawks, are led by Ochai Agbaji. They ranked 2nd in the Quadrant 1 victories with 10. Now, the Bears and the Jayhawks split the regular season series, going 1-1, and they are both currently ranked as 1 seeds in this year's tournament. Traveling down to Lubbock, the Red Raiders seemed to be on top of the world last year with Mac McClung and Chris Beard, but now this year seemed to be lost all hope. But hope was not lost as they reached to the number 9 rank in all of college basketball. But unfortunately, their problem this year, upsets, losing to Kansas State, TCU, Oklahoma, and OSU. Now in Austin, the Longhorns look to be, for their first time ever, a true threat in the Big 12 after losing Shaka Smart and gaining Chris Beard in the head coaching category. The Longhorns, though, have been struggling this year as they have had some problems against the top 3 teams in the Big 12, going just 1-5 against those teams. Now, my final team I'll mention is the Iowa State Cyclones. The Cyclones were looking very good at the beginning of the season, but since then have just kind of fallen off a cliff. We'll see if the Cyclones can become this year's Cinderella story. Back to you, Alex.
Oklahoma State will start with the ball for the second half, up by 7. Likely with the ball, top of the key area, looking towards the left side. Oklahoma State going towards the left rim this time. Pass over, free ball from Avery Anderson from the left corner. Rebound by Cisa. Gonna pass it back out. Now with Likely top key, he'll start to drive in and be blocked off by Meyer. Now left wing, Avery Anderson puts up another 3. That one no good, tipped out, rebounded by Flagler. Flagler down the court, one-on-one, backs out. Now at top of the key, 3 ball from Meyer, and he'll hit it. 36 to now 32 as Baylor immediately puts a 3 on the board.
Cowboys just not able to get back and transition defense fast enough, led to Matthew Meyer being wide open in transition at the top.
Bradley with the ball now, pass over. Thompson back to Avery. Likely now left wing. Looking for a drive now, pass it over to Bradley. Back over, now driving in. Cisa down low, back out now, a 3 ball put up by Thompson. That one in and out, no good. Rebound by Flagler. Flagler slow up the court, coming down the right now. They'll go to the right wing, inside pass, tipped away and stolen by Isaac Likely. Now coming down the court, Black, upward pass and tipped out of the hands of Cisa. See what the call is here. I think we may have a foul call, or it'll be staying with at least Oklahoma State as it got tipped out of bounds. I want to say Flo Thamba got in there. What did you see there, Ryan?
It was, it looked like it was out of bounds off of Baylor, trying to go up in transition for the Cowboys, and just got knocked out of bounds, and possession stays with Oklahoma State. And quick hands there from Isaac Likely, being able to strip that one away down low from Thamba.
Avery Anderson will inbound it to Cisa on the left side. Left elbow, now Anderson will drive in, gets to the free throw line, over to Ice Likely on the right side. Inside now, going up with the shot is Tyreek Smith, and he'll get fouled going up, and will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Looked like Likely might have had Akinjo overextending there, trying to get out on defense. Just a quick little pump fake, got him into the lane, and gave a good passing lane there to hand it off to Smith.
First one no good from the Tech transfer off the left side of the rim. 36-32 the score, 18-31 in this second half. Oklahoma State now going on the left side of the court with Baylor on the right. Second free throw is good for Smith. Brown will inbound it to Flagler for the Bears and slow up the court back over to Brown. Brown on the right side. Right wing now closely guarded by Thompson. Drives left side, now tips it off to Flagler. Flagler still on the right wing, looking to drive in, gets to top key. Top key with the ball, looking around, drives forward, gets in the paint. Now he's looking for a pass out, gets back in, underhand layup, no good. Tip, rebound by Cisa over to Likely right side.
Heck of a move by Flagler to get Cisa off his feet, but just unable to finish the layup.
Likely up to Cisa for the alley-oop dunk, as Cisa jams it in.
That's the 4th one of those we've seen for Musa Cisa in this game. 3rd one that he was able to actually fully slam home. The other one was just kind of a catch and set in the basket. Cisa, though, using his size as a mismatch.
Bears with the ball now. Thamba at the top of the key, looking for a pass. I'll give it to Akinjo on the right wing. Akinjo now driving in, free throw line, over left corner with Sohan. Sohan drives inside, gets to the elbow, puts it up, no good, out of bounds, and will go to the Cowboys.
It looked like the crowd wanted maybe a walk there on Akinjo, but nonetheless, it's a turnover anyway.
Likely with the ball for the Cowboys. He'll bring it slowly up the court across midcourt now with Avery Anderson. Anderson looking to set up a play. Gives it to Thompson, now back to Anderson, now over to Likely on the left wing. Likely behind the arc. Trying to set up a play, gets the screen, now passes it over Anderson. Anderson drives in to the right elbow, back out top key. Likely inside to Cisse. Cisse goes for the dunk and blocked by Thamba and grabbed by Sohan. Sohan for the Bears, top key. Now with Brown, pump fakes the three, drives inside, passes out to Akinjo in the left corner. Akinjo now to Thamba. Thamba now with back to Akinjo. Akinjo driving left side, pass out to Flagler on the right side. Flagler drives in on the right elbow inside to Brown. Brown loses handle of the ball, and it's going to be called for travel violation.
I want to go back for a second to that rejection from Flo Thamba. That was probably the first time that anyone has stood up to Moussa Cisse in this game, and that was an emphatic rejection too.
That was an emphatic. He had perfect positioning and just kind of knocked that ball square out of his hands. Rondell Walker will check in for Smith, and he'll be the inbounder here. 39-32, Cowboys on top, 16:42 to go in the second half as Anderson gets across half court and gets to the left wing with Likely, now back to Anderson on the right wing. Back to Likely. Likely will drive to the left corner now. Closely guarded by Sohan. Now left side. Drives in. Gets to the paint. Passes out. Stolen by Akinjo. Akinjo, fast break. He's got a guy from behind. Goes in. Still a Euro step. And a foul called as Anderson jumps on top of Akinjo trying to go up. And Akinjo going to get the foul call there.
That was a hard foul on Anderson. Left his feet and landed basically right on the shoulders.
Oh, and again, that's unintentional. And it's the almost scary part of the fast break is if you don't go up, someone else is, and he's going to go right on you.
And the Bears had numbers on that possession. Likely when he drove baseline on offense, kind of got tripped up and tripped over some of the front row media members with the cameras. So it was an easy transition there for the Bears. Led to the foul call.
First free throw from the senior guard from Oakland, California. Akinjo is good. Akinjo liked what he saw here at Baylor after he played them twice in Arizona the past 2 years. Decided to come play for Scott Drew and the Baylor Bears and has done pretty well as he makes his second.
It's just so easy from the line for Akinjo. Not really a surprise. He comes to this game with an 82% career free throw percentage.
And his first 2 points of the night there. Cowboys back with the ball. Anderson on the right wing, now left wing with Isaac Likely. Kind of a similar play call we've seen this half, just passing it back and forth. Anderson gets the free throw line inside now to Walker. Walker loses the ball, tipped out of bounds. They're going back to Baylor.
That possession,
Thamba kind of tipped it out there.
That possession didn't end the way that you wanted it to for the Cowboys, but it's very clear, and we've seen it already here in the first 4 minutes. Oklahoma State's trying to get the ball down low.
Yes,
that's the plan for this half.
39-34, 16 to go in the second half. Adam Flagler with the ball at the OSU logo. He'll pass off to Akinjo on the left wing. Now back to Flagler, top key, back to Akinjo. Akinjo drives inside, gets to the paint, gets tipped away and blocked by Cisse. Rebound by Thompson up to Likely right wing. Likely will pass out. Anderson left wing, three ball is no good off the front iron. Rebounded by Cisse. Anderson a second attempt shot, no good, tipped out, rebounded by Flagler for the Bears. Flagler with the ball and gets it to the OSU logo across midcourt after Anderson missed 2 threes from that left wing. A little bit of press coverage. Flagler goes in and gets bumped by Cisse and a foul called on the big man from Memphis. And that'll get us to the first media timeout. Not much doing so far, but 39-34 the score as Oklahoma State holds the lead with 15:21 to go here in this second half. We'll be right back here as you're listening to Big Monday on ESPN.
Your Oklahoma State Cowboys are now 6-0 after defeating Texas this past Saturday. Though the Cowboys started off slow this game, safety Jason Taylor got the Cowboys moving with an 85-yard pick six to help cut down the OSU deficit to 7. From there, Cowboy kicker Tanner Brown was perfect, connecting on 2 field goals to keep pace with the Longhorns. Down 24-16 heading into the fourth, the Cowboy offense went off, scoring 16 points with a 7-yard touchdown pass to Brennan Presley, and a Spencer Sanders run of 10 yards to seal a 32-24 win. This marks the 7th time in school history OSU has started off 6-0. Be sure to check out the Daily O today for a more extensive recap of the Cowboy win. Starting off with baseball, the MLB postseason is in full swing. Yesterday, the Boston Red Sox defeated the Tampa Bay Rays 6-4 with a walk-off home run from Red Sox catcher Christian Vasquez in the 13th inning. With the win, Boston takes a 2-1 series lead. The Chicago White Sox staved off elimination last night, defeating the Houston Astros 12-6. Game 4 for both of these series are today. Meanwhile, on the NL side of things, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants will play Game 3 of their 5-game series tonight. Currently, the series is tied at 1-1 apiece with tonight's game in LA. The Milwaukee Brewers and the Atlanta Braves are also tied 1-1, with the series heading to Atlanta for Game 3 tonight and Game 4 tomorrow. Be sure to keep up with all that is happening this week as the Divisional Championship Series will be decided. Chuba Hubbard had his first 100-yard game in the NFL yesterday, and although the Panthers lost 21-18 to the Eagles, Hubbard made quite an impact as he had 24 carries for 101 yards. With no news yet if Christian McCaffrey will be back next week, Hubbard looks to be in the starting position when they take on the Minnesota Vikings at home. Well, we're going to move in now to the other teams in the Big 12. So first, let's take a look at Texas Tech. They had a fantastic year going 12-6 in conference, 25-9 overall, and they performed well, reaching that Big 12 title game and now getting to the Sweet 16 after they defeated Montana State and Notre Dame. And now they're going to have to face probably their biggest challenge yet, and that's Duke and Coach K. Now, they have played Duke one time before, and that was when they were ranked 12, facing undefeated, or they were undefeated, facing Duke in the Garden. And a little trivia for you, who do you think was the leading scorer in that game? I'll give you a hint. It was from Duke, 2018 in the Garden.
2018?
2018 in the Garden.
God, was it? It wasn't Grayson Allen, was it?
Nope.
I don't know. What do you got for me, man?
Zion Williamson.
Really?
Zion Williamson.
That's
was
right.
The leading scorer at 18 points.
That's right. I forgot about that.
But Texas Tech has been very key throughout the year, and I think it's going to be probably one of the most interesting games to watch. But they've played very solid in their first 2 games, Montana State. Notre Dame was a little bit more of a defensive showing, but they played well.
Yeah, they really Notre Dame was up, late in that game, and it was Tech's defense that stifled Notre Dame. A little bit of interesting play calling from Mike Bray. Yeah. But, this Texas Tech team, they thrive on their defense. I mean, we saw it, in Oklahoma State's final game that was against Texas Tech. 53, 52, something like that, 52, 51. It was such a low-scoring game. This is a Tech team that, averages about 3 blocks a game, 8 steals a game, which is incredible. They don't have a lot of guys averaging double figures. Bryson Williams averaging about 14 points per game. Terrence Shannon, I would say probably their best scoring threat on offense, only 10.5. Kevin O'Banner, 10, the transfer from Oral Roberts. Even Kevin McCullers just under 10, about 9.9, which we'll say that's 10. But you look at the Tech team, they rely a lot on their defense. And I think it's a matchup problem for Duke because they're so young.
And the last thing I think I'll mention on Texas Tech is you talk about double digits, and now they kind of don't have a lot. They have had 6 different players score double digits in the tournament. So that's kind of a big thing.
We'll be up first. 1 minute on the clock. Give me an overview of the Baylor Bears. Ready, set, go.
All right, so Baylor's an interesting team. On the year, they're sitting 16-16, so kind of very even. They got a great number 1 pitcher in Tyler Thomas. He has a 1.97 ERA, and he has 50 strikeouts on the year, which is very top-tier numbers. But the problem is they're just an okay team on the batting side. They only have 18 home runs, which some players in the NCAA can almost have by themselves. Jared McKenzie and Trey Richardson are both sitting at above 294. I think Richardson's at 294, and McKenzie is at 3. But this team has just had exactly what we've said for all the other Big 12 teams. Highest highs and lowest lows. But recently, they have been really struggling in conference play, especially this past weekend getting swept by West Virginia, who is a very, very good surprise team of the Big 12. And I think Baylor is a good team. They kind of just need to find their role. They have some great pitchers, and they got a great closer who'll be playing in the Cape this season. And I really am excited to see where Baylor goes.